Hey Scott, I shot my last deer of the year and I brought it home. I didn't gut it. I wanted to show you that process. So we've got the whole thing to clean up here, and I'm just going to go through that with you real quick so you know for next year. I'm going to gut it, but first thing, because the deer's here, just at their hock, you can feel the flexor tendon going there and the hock. I always poke a hole right down through that, so then when I hang the deer, I can hang him right there. So that's a quick, easy thing to do, right behind the hock, between the flexor tendon. All right, that part's done. So sometimes in the field we just poke them and go, but I wanted to show you a little better way here. If you get right in front of his penis, and then you can cut just the skin, and then you can peel that back. It's only attached via the skin, and that way it's gonna be better for you to see what you're doing when you go to gutting, because we don't want to reach in and rip the guts open. So you can see we can just peel his penis back here and get it out of our way. We'll cut him right down to his anus, right through there. So then when I go to get into his abdomen here, I can see what I'm doing, and I want to get my knife into the abdomen. I'm kind of pulling up with the hair to get it away from the guts, and I make a poke in. Once I poke it inside, then I can put my fingers in there with my knife up, and I can run that right up his belly here and not get into the guts. Does that make sense? Joe, you pull that knife for me, just right through the gut there. Just pull it right up, kind of saw it a little bit. Keep that out of the guts. Yep, now she's to the rib cage, and if she goes right to the rib cage, it's always best to pull this. You can see this line right down the middle. If you pull the knife to you, use both hands and just kind of saw it as you pull it. That'll open that chest cavity up good. Perfect.
Say hi, Joe.
Hi.
So now the next thing we want to do is we want to get this diaphragm out of our way. So you can see right here the diaphragm that keeps the guts away from the heart and the lungs. You'll slice that on each side for me, Joe. All right. And on the other side. All right. Now, cut this right here for me. And right in front of the heart, you can feel the heart. Right in front of that is the esophagus, and you have to reach down in and cut that esophagus in two. When you cut that esophagus in two, then you can pull all this out. I just put my finger right in the esophagus and pull. So I want to make sure that my abdomen is opened up all the way to the back, not cutting the intestines. All right. Got a muck bucket here. My wife will appreciate the muck bucket used, but now all I want to do is get a hold of that esophagus again, stick my finger right in there, and if anything sticks, Josie's going to cut it for me right here along the way so I can pull it out easily. There's more of the diaphragm that's holding on there. And the deer is gutted, dude. That's simple. Okay, once we got the deer hung, we're just gonna cut the fascia membrane here that's between the skin and the meat. And Josie's gonna go right up. Hair will dull your knife, so only cut the skin. You only do it from the inside, and that way your knife stays sharp. You're gonna get as close as the hock. Not a lot of good meat back there, so that's not that big of a deal. Same thing right here. On the back side can help her. It's cold in Iowa. I guess you're in Minnesota right now, so you probably know what that's like, but we want to get the hair off the deer and get it cooled down. Yep. That side's done. You want to get the other side, Joe? Dude, I've had a good season, a good year. This is number 2, 3, 4, 5 for me for the year. This guy is an antlerless only, so he's just a little button buck, but that's all I could shoot. I couldn't shoot another buck, but he'll be a good eater. He's about a year old. He'll be a perfect eater. He'll be tender. Some people say they want to shoot that big old doe, you know, and I never want to do that because that big old doe had 37 babies and she's tired and dried up and saggy, and so I want the nice young tender ones to eat. Goes quick once we get them around here, and I'm going to show you how we cut the tail. Around on this side, maybe to get through the tail. So I'm cutting right between the tail and the anus. And here I'm going to try to find a joint in the tail, and if I push in, there, I just cut the tailbone in two, you can see. Now the deer will pull for me, and I don't have to skin it, but I can pull it and not tear the meat. We're going to jump down and pull it here. Okay, once we get that tailbone cut, we can just peel this down here. You might have to cut a little bit. Josie will help me here just a freckle where it's sticking some. Peels down pretty good. Now we're going to go around to the front side. Josie show you how. You want to do a leg here. There's this white brown seam, and that's what you want to cut up. If you're going to shoot a nice buck, you want to shave the front half of your deer for the taxidermist to get him mounted. So you always want to use this brown white seam, and that tells you that you're on the back side of everything. That you can just follow that right straight on up. Did all that from the inside, so she didn't cut any hair, didn't dull her knife. And then it's just a matter of skinning around that leg.
Josie might not hunt deer, but she can skin a deer.
Very good skinner. She's helped me skin many deer over the years. Sometimes she puts the guys to shame. When we're all here skinning deer, she can skin a deer faster than many of them can. So it's kind of fun. I'm proud of her. He doesn't get squeamish about the blood.
So you mentioned mounting a deer, and I'm sure Scott knows this because he's probably shot a big buck. But you wouldn't gut the deer the same way if you had a really nice buck and go all the way up that rib cage.
You wouldn't go this far. You'd only gut them like so far, and then you'd reach up in order to cut that esophagus. You can see where we cut the front of that. But you wouldn't want to go that far up because you want your armpits and your brisket here used to mount that deer.
So you don't want a big slit in the hide.
Right. Alright, dude, I think that's as far as we're going to skin it out. I hope this helps you for next year. And sorry I'm late in the year to get one shot to kill it, to gut it. Normally I would do all that in the field, just skin it here at the house, but I wanted to show you the process because it's not a big deal. So anyway, Merry Christmas, dude. Talk to you later.